Hi, I'm the Wandering Newbie, more Final Fantasy Record Keeper. Today, we have the Final Fantasy IX event, Show of Resolve, for Garnet. Getting a very, mediocre wardrobe record. There we go, that's what it is. Alright, but first up, we have the boss rush here. I've never actually gotten this far in FF9, so this is all like weird new stuff for me. And bosses, I don't know how to pronounce their names, so Ducias, weak to wind, and Abandon, who is also weak to wind. So just bring some wind moves, tear them apart pretty quickly. They're a bit of a mix between magic and everything, but most of their physical single target, so I have a strategy for that. So, the general thought structure is Steiner's actually going to be taunting everything, Garnet's going to get shelling everyone, reduce everything else, and just sort of tear the bosses apart. Actually, like, I think it's more just, I played 9 so long ago, I just don't remember anything about it. Well, maybe this event will give me a refresher. Now, when this guy's on the ground, he uses bio a lot, and he also does counter bios. And once he lifts off into the sky, he does mostly melee attacks. Yeah, including some counter melee. Should actually be hitting us pretty soon. Luckily, Zidane, as most thieves and most multi-hit moves have started to be, is extremely gross. I don't know if they're actually... I don't know if it's like what I'm doing, if I'm doing anything differently, or if they're just making the stats of these boss rush bosses lower. but it does feel like I tear through them a bit faster ever since Golbez. Now, Abandon here is... I'm gonna go out on a limb and just say pretty much the same boss. Without the counters, actually, though. But is a mix of melee and magic moves. Like that. So if you do sort of a dual front on your defenses, you're pretty much fine. It's gonna be interesting to see that after I hit him with Armor Breakdown next turn. Ah, almost a max heal. Spooky with the music keep going. Yeah. With how the music keeps going. So up next is the Shell Dragon, who it doesn't have much to him either, though his crush move is proportional HP, so there's no real preventing that unless you put gravity accessories on everybody, or instant death accessories on everyone. Supposedly, has very high defenses, so you need to be hitting weakness or using magic. In order to break through. It is vulnerable to ice, does use AoE physicals and magic attacks, so plan accordingly. Using a similar setup, just switching some things around. I'm pretty much gonna take the AoE physical on the nose and just see how that works. That's not bad. Yeah, let's go with this actually. Now, I actually kind of expect this roaming warrior to do gross amounts of damage, so we'll see. Ah, double cast. I love it. I almost put double cast Thief on Zidane, which would have been disgusting. So Crush counts as a magic ability. That's interesting. But also very useful because the barrier that roaming warrior gave us allows us to just ignore. So, in actuality, extremely useful. Throw out one of those. I might actually be able to finish him off with that roaming warrior again. So good? Not quite there. This is an alert that is super old and I need to just delete anyway. Alright, next up is the Silver Dragon. Some of you may remember this as an ultimate in a previous Final Fantasy IX event. This version, a little bit simpler. Doesn't have the whole flying into the air mechanic, which made it such a headache during that other FF9 event. That said, whoops. That said, still packs quite the punch, so do pack accordingly. And here, we'll be going at it with some self-buffing, a mage, both types of shields, and probably Sentinel Grimoire as well on top of that. Seems a lot of the people that I follow, roaming warrior-wise, have been changing up what their warriors are. And unfortunately, in that recent update, we didn't get Warrior Shuffle, which is a shame. It would have been the perfect time to add it. And it seems like, why even keep that? Still not a thing. So I'll just have to go through my list and cut out some of the ones that have changed away from what I followed them for, and then refollow some new people. Damn it. I forgot to change the picture over here, so we'll just do a reset on that. Whoops. Actually, I don't know if I reset that for the second boss either. That would be really annoying. Anywho. This one might actually be a bit of a slog. No, I'm hitting the damage that I want, so that's good. We'll just have to see what kind of numbers Gilgamesh pulls in. I have the dual cast spell blades on him. I'd love it if he proc that at least once. No guarantee ever, but it would be really nice if it happens. I want to say dual casts are always something like 10% abouts. Almost max damage. I'll take that. Yeah, feels as though I might have gone a bit too much in the direction of protection. And probably could have allowed for a bit less protection and a bit more damage. I was always a kind of a fan of this music that plays for this fight. I don't know if it's the same music that plays in 9, but in Record Keeper they always use it for this fight. And I don't know, I rather like it. It's a good, very slow, like, kind of gives weight to the fight. I think there's anything really big of note that this version of the dragon does. It just has some AoEs and some single targets. Mix of magic and physical, so just make sure you cover both your defenses. Overall, a pretty simple fight. Yes. Our wall has worn off. Last turn. No real reason to rebuff. We just go for the kill. As I said, not an overly complex boss. Alright, let's level 2 break a few characters while we wait for this last minute to go by. Then we can start up the ultimates. Now, what are your record materials? Yeah, small attack and defense, light armor. It's alright. Significant spear damage. It'd be nice to have a second one of those. Begin the fight with taunt. That's pretty nifty, actually. And I'm gonna make another tweet. There we go. Actually, oh, what the? 4 announcements. Break of Dawn event. Oh, this must be Orb Fest. Alright, new fan survey. This is what I'm curious about. Ooh, that's extremely good. I need to remember that for the ultimate. I'll have to change somebody's accessory, but that's actually extremely good for the ultimate plus. So, the ultimate fight is all 3 black waltzes at the same time. Heavily magic based in this fight, though Their melee attacks are nothing to completely ignore. They actually hit pretty hard. I'm actually going to bring up the enemy stats right here. Yeah, their attack is actually higher than their magic. In like a weird, fucking like gross. Like why is that a fucking thing? They have weaknesses, but even aside from that, their defenses aren't astronomical. Usually they give high defenses to something like that, but not terribly so here. So, Steiner and Igarius, I will never pronounce her name right. But anyway, they're going to be taunting the single target attacks off. Steiner doing the magic attacks, and Igarius the melee. Thing to note here is Steiner is also equipped with Reflect. So he's actually going to be bouncing a lot of those spells back at the enemies. Garnet is going to be dealing some very, very heavy AoE damage. And Pinello is going to be reducing their damage with dances. Selfie at bottom has slow in order to just debilitate them even further, since they are actually vulnerable to slow. If you have a Soul Break that does AoE slow, strongly recommend using it. And the break I'm looking for didn't actually show up. So we'll just have to do a small bit of shuffling over in everybody's favorite thing. That's right, you know it, you love it. Bubble Castle. See, this is why I said, hey, maybe if they added that nice, good Roaming Warrior shuffle, that would have been really cool. Because I wouldn't have to do this right now. If I don't find what I'm looking for, I may actually just go in with a Sentinel Grimoire instead. One more think about it, might not actually follow that many people that have the thing I want. So we may actually end up with the Sentinel Grimoire. I'm actually looking for a Tome of the Keeper. Because the magic blink that it gives will really deal with words, cycling the words in my head. The magic blink that Tome of the Keeper gives will really deal pretty well with the AoE magic that they can throw out. Also, yes, I pretty much need you. However, Sentinel Grimoire should also do the job. So there is that. Ah, there we go. Not exactly the person I was looking for, but at this point, I will take what I can get. I knew I had at least more than one person with that. All right. No Hey Saga. They're only speed 300 and can be slowed. You know what? I actually kind of messed up here. We'll see that in a moment as to why I messed up. In fact, you know what? We're actually just going to start over. You'll see. Take my word for it. And you see, if she uses the break, then she gets boosted stats. From the burst status, which is going to make her Bahamut and everything do even more damage. Yeah, there we go. You are the weak to wind. You are the weak to fire. So because I probably cut it out, having her bursted increased Bahamut's damage by 300 per hit. Or 3,000 per hit. So that's an extra 6,000 damage each Bahamut cast. So yes, worth it for her to use the burst. fact, I'm gonna straight up hold off on lowering everyone's magic, because right now it's working out pretty well for me. I can use and do another multi-break though. That's for sure. Oh shit, I wanted to recast the break on her. That was a misclick. I should be fine though, honestly. But yeah, that actually can give you a good bit of insight into how much less damage she was doing. Because her other dance will lower their magic, and right now I have a shield on everyone, and they're bouncing spells back on themselves, which will actually make those bounce spells do less damage. So until they do a AoE spell that gets rid of my one-hit magic blink, it's actually better to not lower their magic. And full break dance is hitting the lower magic condition, so to an extent. You do need at least one cast of whatever garbage in order to make sure you hit that lower magic condition on the one boss. I can't remember which one of the waltzes it is. Let's just make sure I hit the right waltz for the wind weakness, since it is in fact both of them, and they are both going to be dead next turn. This strategy was dumb and like kind of gross. Though, you know, it does require a Bahamut, the burst mode, synergy, magic weapon. A whole lot went into this. You can actually pretty much meld this to a Sid mission pretty well, because Zidane can taunt, though he won't be able to hit the fire, but you could give him Wind Slash instead, switch that around, and just have a normal, you know, breakdowner instead of Pinello. Alright, now I gotta remember to switch this accessory onto somebody before we go into the ultimate boss, Nova Dragon. So, Nova Dragon has some vicious AoE moves, will counter physical attacks with a basic physical attack of its own, but if you hit it with magic, it counters with a proportional HP attack. So you're actually better going physical on this guy than magic. It's vulnerable to both wind and ice, so spell blades and your jumps are pretty good. At 50%, it uses Twister, which is magic attack that hits the whole party. So you really do kind of want to focus on magic breakdowns on this one. Now, I hate to bring his attack down for it, but he does have the lowest resistance. Again, that's the accessory you just got. Lowers wind and water resistance, or increases wind and water resistance. So, extremely useful. Now, I do believe the plan is to go with a shout on this. Yeah, because I don't have much. Yeah, that was the plan, is shout. Right. That's how much damage Psychokinesis did on Steiner. Then I do believe that high defense he has is going to put in some major work. Good. Jumps might actually be better. Too much damage a jump does. kind of burning through my steel powers because I expect his health to go down a little bit faster than this. I should probably slow down a bit with those. Yeah, and then it's the tidal wave, which is honestly pretty scary. Nice thing is I don't have to actually worry about defense falling off. Since no Sentinel Grimoire or anything like that. We'll have him recast it. That way I know he gets hit by it. We're actually probably going to get hit by the Twister pretty soon. So, let that go, and then sort of like a 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. I kind of want to like time it for when he uses it. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's a big hit. That's a big fucking hit. Christ, I need him to let up on the tidal waves already. The question is, am I going to have the damage to go the distance? Ooh, red. Okay. Whew, that was close. Alright. Whew. This might be pretty good. Oh boy. Shout wore off. Gilgamesh should have one more hit with Shout. But we also don't have haste. Oh boy! Whew. That was down to the wire. Oh boy. That was scary at the end. It was like, oh no, it's going so good. Oh god, stop doing Tidal Wave. Holy shit, stop doing Tidal Wave. Come on. Oh boy. Anywho, that's it for the FF9 event. That Ultimate Plus was really scary. Up next, I believe, is FF12. And then shortly after that, we have the Dissidia event. So, I'll see you then.